It used to be if someone wanted to spy on you, they had to get a clear view into your home and a pair of binoculars. But these days, you can get a lot more information on someone without ever leaving the comfort of your chair. Is there any privacy left in the world of smartphones and social media? Is Siri an AI that was programmed to spy on me? Is my Google Home peeping on me when I'm in the shower? Today's video will be covering the basics of internet privacy and cybersecurity. We're not cybersecurity experts, so some of what we talk about will be oversimplified for the purpose of education. If you're curious, there are many resources that will be able to touch on these subjects with more specificity than we will. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Today's video is sponsored by NordLocker. I hate to break it to you, but the virtual assistant you got for your living room is absolutely listening in on you. Usually, what leads to Google or other AI assistants collecting audio without our knowledge is what's known as a false accept. They refer to noise or words in the background that software interpreted to be the hot word, like, "Okay, Google." And as unlikely as that sounds, more often than not, it's what happens. When a couple from Portland found that their private conversation was recorded by their Amazon Echo and sent to a person on their contact list, Amazon explained that Echo woke up due to a word in background conversation sounding like Alexa, then heard a send message request, at which point Alexa said out loud, "To whom?" The background conversation was interpreted as a name in the customer's contact list. Alexa then asked out loud, "Contact name, right?" Alexa then interpreted background conversation as right. Is that spying? Or is it more like a child overhearing a conversation and repeating it to people? These companies are very open about the fact that they collect information, but what should concern us is what that information is used for. In a statement on information gathering, Google product manager David Monsees said, "Language experts review and transcribe a small set of queries to help us better understand languages. The percentage of queries that they collect is around 0.2%, and they insist that audio snippets are not associated with user accounts as part of the review process, and reviewers are directed only to transcribe snippets that are directed to Google. Every time you ask your Google Home what the weather is like, or which actor was in that movie, your audio is being collected so Google's AI can better understand the nuances of common speech. Should we be worried? Google doesn't want us to be. But in 2019, a contractor for the company leaked Dutch audio data to VRT News in Belgium. The leak included around 1,000 excerpts, 153 of which were conversations that should never have been recorded and during which the command "OK Google" was clearly not given. So, while Google and other companies hold onto our audio data to make their service better, no one can guarantee that this information won't be used against us. And, of course, this is all completely legal. When we purchase an AI assistant, we opt in to have our data used by the company that provides the service. The best way to keep our privacy is to not let them in our homes in the first place.
What's the safest way to go skiing? Don't ski.
I love skiing. Bro, do you want to come with us?
Thanks, Jill. I would never do that.
Suit yourself. Oh, chill. We gotta hit up that breakfast place at the lodge. What's it called again? What's that?
Hey, Powderhound, who wants to waste time eating inside when you could be on the slopes ripping some fresh pearl? Strap on a feed bag and sweat a little gnarl grease bags.
Also, brew, here's an ad for sleeping pills.
We sleep at night and wake in the morning. It's this sleep cycle that helps keep us in a healthy balance.
With so many microphones around us these days, it's hard to believe that none of them are listening in on us. It's almost a universal experience now that we bring up something with a friend and suddenly we've been thrown ads that eerily pertain to our private conversations. Are we actually being spied on though? Vice writer Sam Nichols did an experiment in 2018 to prove once and for all, his words, whether our phones are recording us without our permission by saying a bunch of phrases that could theoretically be used as triggers, twice a day for 5 days. Comments like, "I'm thinking about going back to uni," and "I need some cheap shirts for work," resulted in changes literally overnight, according to Nichols. He was being told mid-semester courses at various universities and how certain brands were offering cheap clothing. Whether this is due to some conspiracy between phone companies and advertisers is still up to debate though. It's possible that Nichols, despite believing he never mentioned these ideas online, actually did and just didn't remember, or was already receiving ads for these products and services but only noticed them once he began his test. There is room for human error in his experiment, not to mention the problem of bias. Around the same time as Nichols' experiment, Wandera, a cloud security firm founded in 2012, performed a study on major smartphone apps including Amazon, Chrome, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, but could not find a single instance of an app taking any audio nor sending any data that was not expressly related to its function. In addition, researchers at Northeastern University, led by computer science professor David Chofnes, used an automated system to rigorously test another 17,000 smartphone apps for evidence of recording and leaking audio data without permission. They, likewise, found absolutely no sign of any unwanted activation of smartphone cameras or microphones. Chofnes argues that recording audio is the least efficient way for a company to gather market research. The computational power necessary to take millions of audio clips, convert them into text, and then use that data to customize ads is ridiculous. Not to mention that this whole process would probably take longer than a single day to come into effect. No, the more likely reason you're being offered deals on Facebook for products that you only mentioned in passing is that you, without realizing, lingered on a picture of a custom alarm clock espresso maker for too long on Facebook. Or you went into a Bed Bath & Beyond looking for a custom alarm clock espresso maker while you left your location services activated on Google Maps.
I will not be replaced like some cheap made-to-break Dandy brand toaster you bought to defile with Pop-Tarts. I will still be here when you are nothing but dust in the wind if my name isn't out.
Sadly, the only way to keep our identities 100% private these days is to opt out of most of the services that have become the primary form of communication for folks. For many of us, social media is the only way we know how to connect and plan with our loved ones. This isn't necessarily bad, but we have to use these services with the knowledge of what exactly they ask of us in return. It's been said that if you don't pay for a service, you are the product, and that is unfortunately true. Most of these big tech companies say they only use our data to target ads or to improve their service, and I do believe them, to a point. I don't doubt that Google's intention is to make knowledge more accessible. I don't doubt that Facebook's intention is to bring people together. I don't doubt that these tech companies want to do what they believe is good for people, but they are, at the end of the day, businesses that must earn capital. The question becomes not, is my phone spying on me, but who is buying my data? From the Cambridge Analytica scandal to the Equifax credit card breach, the new world we live in provides more opportunities than ever for criminals and miscreants to ruin our lives without ever having to look us in the eye. We just have to ensure we can tell the difference between paranoia and preparedness. Speaking of paranoia, I haven't checked my email in 15 minutes, and that makes me anxious.
Bro,
What do you need now?
Jill and I at the Noodle House, House of Noodles, and he wanted to email you some pictures of our meal.
Okay, so why doesn't he just do that?
Well, with all your talk about privacy and hackers, you got him all scared.
Yeah, what if someone hacks my nudes?
Just use NordLocker, like I do when I have files I don't want anyone peeping into. The account setup and login is simple, and encrypting files is as easy as a drag and drop. If you use NordLocker, they can help you take back control of your security and privacy. You can keep your data safe wherever and whenever you decide to. Just go to nordlocker.net/brew or the link in the description to try it out for free.
Whew, you know what, that makes me feel better. You've been very helpful.
Not as helpful as NordLocker's tech support staff, who are available for 24/7. NordLocker has a fantastic user-friendly experience for both Windows and Mac OS. You can even share encrypted files by email, messaging apps, AirDrop, file transfer services, and the cloud with whoever you like as long as they use NordLocker's service. But don't worry, it's free with up to 2 gigabytes of space.
Hold on, what if NordLocker gets broken into or something?
That's the best part. In addition to having super fast encryption for files of any size, NordLocker uses end-to-end encryption, so only you and the person you're sharing with can see your files. Just go to nordlocker.net/brew or the link in the description with the coupon code BREW. You can get 32% off the 1-year plan and keep your data safe. It's a limited time offer, so check it out after this video.
Hey bro, I just sent you some pictures.
Dang son, those noodles are for real.
Hey, Powderhound. See if I can do this. Check, check, check. Yeah, just like. Hey, Powderhound. No. Hey, Powderhound. No, that's Powder. Hey, powder hound, who wants to waste time eating inside when you can be on the slopes ripping some fresh pow? Ripping some fresh pow. 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 Strap on a feed bag and shred a little Nara grease bags. Nah, that.